Cybersecurity comes down to protecting software. Yet, as the Internet of Things advances, IoT devices and the tiny computing chips embedded within them are becoming more capable and need to be protected as well. I spoke to Thomas Rosteck of Infineon Technologies all about this.
If you look at a typical IoT device, there's a few things you need, right? So the first thing you need is you need some sensors. You need to make your device environment aware. It either has to see, or it has to smell, or it has to feel something, because that's then the communication, or hear, for example. That's then the communication piece that you have. So be it a smoke detector with a different sensor than a smart speaker, right? So the other thing you need is it needs to interact with the outside world, which is, for example, a power device that's turning a motor, switching on a light, it's doing something. Now, between the two, you need the intelligence. The intelligence is the microcontroller, right? A microcontroller basically then and the software tool, right? That's kind of doing something with the signals getting in and then reacting to it, right? And then you need connectivity to the cloud or to the mobile phone, for example. And last but not least, you need security, right? So this whole needs to be, because it's communication, everything's connected. So there's also vulnerability that you have to protect against. If you have these components, you have basically everything that you need to build an IoT device.
Yeah. And these are components that are very deep in the system that's evolving, right? To make these connections and to connect all these services so that they interoperate seamlessly.
Yeah.
So let's go there. Help us understand the challenge of how do you do security for that? What's the approach?
So the first thing when you talk about security, you always have to do security by design. Security is always a race, because the capabilities of an attacker they do increase over time. They get new tools and new capabilities. And that's why you have to think also ahead to what is going to happen in the future.
It strikes me that the approach you're taking is to, security by design, you referred to it, is really baking security in at the very core components here, the sensors that feed the microcontrollers, that feed the servers. They all have semiconductors in them.
Absolutely. And what you see is that, for example, we talk about standards. So there's also a change in standards. Basically, every standard is very serious also about security. So, for example, connectivity with standards like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, they care about security in their protocols. So that's one piece. Then, looking at the products, we also see that the typical microcontrollers, right? They are starting to have also security features embedded.
Oh, we're talking here about the Internet of Things, expanding trillions of more sensors,
right.
The accompanying microcontrollers, the accompanying servers. With everything scaling up, machine learning is a part of this. How can you make that connection for us? How do you keep up with the scale of complexity and doing this?
There's one thing happening which I call the new wave of digitalizations, right? And this wave of digitalization is actually moving from the cloud to the edge. Right? It's basically not possible to send every data that you created, that a sensor created, to the cloud. The devices in the edge get more and more powerful. Microcontrollers have more performance. And so from that perspective, you can do a lot more in the edge. Right? And that means that we can really put certain things into the devices itself. That you basically can also do a lot of machine learning topics at the edge in the devices. Right? So don't have to basically bring everything to the cloud. And with this, you also reduce complexity, right?
So it's sort of decentralizing the computations of the machine learning routines that have to go on.
It is.
As everything expands out.
Let me give you one example. If I have my, let's say at home, I have my charging station for my car, right? and I have my solar system on it, and I want to charge my car, then the charging station will tell the solar system, okay, we need to charge the car. The solar system will then say, it's cloudy today, we will only get 50% of the energy. The rest you have to take from the public network, right? Then the charging station can basically say, I will look, or in the future, I will look onto my driver's calendar and see, okay, where is he going to coach hour? If he's only going to work, I would say, tick mark, I just take what you deliver me, I just charge 50%. If he needs to go to, I don't know, LA tomorrow, then I need a fully charged car, so I have to take it from the public network.
Yes.
If I now zoom out of my home and say, how many people will have to move to drive to LA tomorrow? That might be only 20%, right? Which means 80% will not take energy from the public network. So, and this is one example how Internet of Things and digitalization can also drive decarbonization for.
Can you frame a recent acquisition that Infineon did that relates to this?
So they actually, the acquisition we did, and it was Imagimob is a machine learning company, and this machine learning company has certain models that we now use to kind of enlarge the portfolio for our microcontrollers. So we give the customers a possibility to participate in this. The second thing the company is offering is a tool chain, and a tool chain with which a customer can do its own model, right? So and then download it into our microcontrollers. So you have two choices: either we help you with it, or you do your own thing. And with this, you have basically new capabilities then for a microcontroller.
This is all part of sort of decentralizing security and pushing it out to the edge to push the protection out so that it's sitting out where all the action is taking place with all these connections.
It's a feature set, so it's and with this you can do things that were not possible before. Right? You can really do it in a different way. That's what machine learning is all about. Security is different. So even if I push things to the edge, right, I still have the connection with the internet. So it's still, devices are still accessible, which means I need to have this protection done, and I have this done. I have fixed copies it.
So should we be encouraged about the Internet of Things rising to the next level with autonomous transportation, advances in healthcare, spectacular new digital services that we can't imagine at the moment, but pretty soon they'll be commonplace.
Absolutely. We are at the October Tech of Infineon here today, and we have seen really nice examples in healthcare and smart home and so on, where we can do a lot better than we can do today. For example, what we could do is we could make sure that elderly people can live longer self-contained at home if the home is helping them. Some of this are happening already today, but with the Internet of Things, this could be advanced, and with this, we can create also a better society.
Very well said. Anything more you'd like to add, Thomas?
I think, as I mentioned, so the Internet of Things for me is a chance. And looking at Infineon's vision, so we basically say decarbonization and digitalization together. It's the theme that is really driving. And the together means not only together in Infineon, but also together with our customers, with stakeholders out there in the world. Because only jointly we can really make use of this and drive these two aspects that was mentioned.
Because it makes good business sense.
Absolutely. So in the end, it's, let's say, I would say, use my personal views. I do things because I believe in it, but I also have to be able to make money with it, because if I don't make money, I can't do the things that I believe in, right? It's that simple. And but I think the mission that we have given ourselves is the one that's really important for all of us, and actually for our generations to come.
Very well said. Thank you so much, Thomas, for your time today.
You're more than welcome. Thank you.